Now, DMK's anti-Sanatan rant refuses to die down. In fact, slamming the India Bloc, India Alliance. BJP's chief, JP Nadda, has now claimed that India Alliance was formed itself to attack Sanatan Dharma and that it's a well-thought-out strategy by Rahul Gandhi and the Congress to bring on board their vote base. He further added that Sonia Gandhi's silence here meant that she was in approval of the abuse and the attacks hurled. But DMK has also claimed in the meanwhile that they are not against Hinduism and that BJP was only merely misrepresenting and interpreting their statements. India Alliance leaders have now distanced themselves from the DMK's attacks. Congress has added that BJP is trying to create a rift between North and South. Meanwhile, protests have erupted in MP's Jabalpur, where an angry devotees there. We saw visuals of angry devotees stepping on photographs of Udayanidhi Stalin, as we see on our visuals there.
सोनिया गांधी जी खामोश क्यों है आप? सोनिया गांधी जी, आप अपने कांग्रेस पार्टी की सबसे बड़ी नेता आप ही हैं। पूरी अथॉरिटी आपके पास है। आपकी खामोशी देश को बेचैन करती है और भाजपा की ओर से हमें कहने में जरा भी आपत्ति नहीं है, मौनम स्वीकृति लक्षणम। योर साइलेंस इज एन इंडिकेशन ऑफ अप्रूवल as to what is being said.
It is their DNA. It has been going there for decades. The Dravida Kalagam, the parent body, is the architects behind this. Karunanidhi had done the same thing. And following his footsteps, his son Stalin had done the same. Now, following the footsteps of grandfather and father, Udayanidhi is doing the same thing. We have heard even more worse comparisons and more worse anecdotes when it comes to the beliefs of the majority. Tamil Nadu have seen it earlier. So this is not new.
What is the need of talking about Sanatana Dharma? The governor speaks about Sanatana Dharma. I have got a book on Sanatana Dharma. There is an article in today's Morosali, what is found in that book. Let Annamalai read. And you tell him that I oblige, I accept that. Let him say that I accept that. He also belonged to the backward class.
राज एक्चुअली कोई अभिनेता नहीं है, खलनायक है। किसी ने कहा HIV है, एड्स है, सनातन, किसी ने कहा मलेरिया है, किसी ने कहा डेंगू है, किसी ने कहा कुष्ठ रोग है। मैं कहती हूँ कि जिसने सनातन धर्म को कुष्ठ रोगी बोला है वो कुष्ठ रोग का सुख भोगे, जिसने सनातन धर्म को एड्स बोला है वो एड्स का सुख भोगे।
ये बयान आने ही थे क्योंकि यही रणनीति तय की गई है और उस दिन जिस दिन इनका बयान आया भी था उदयनिधि जी का, उसी दिन मैंने कहा था, क्योंकि बैठक के ठीक बाद ये बयान आया और उस दिन भी मुझे इस बात की आशंका थी कि क्या उस बैठक में ये रणनीति तय की गई है कि एंटी सनातन बयानबाजी हम लोगों को करनी है। और जिस तरीके से आज उनके मंत्री ने इस बात को स्पष्ट किया तो ये बात तय है कि उस बैठक में ही ये चर्चाएं हुई कि किस तरीके से सनातन के विरोध में अपनी बातों को रखते हुए, तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति को साधते हुए, डिवाइड एंड रूल की पॉलिसी को अपनाते हुए समाज में बंटवारा करने की बात हम लोगों को करनी है। क्यों? क्योंकि इनके पास कोई विकास का एजेंडा नहीं है।
हमें ना उनसे राष्ट्रवाद पे सर्टिफिकेट चाहिए और ना धर्म पे सर्टिफिकेट चाहिए। हम सर्वधर्म समभाव में यकीन रखते हैं। हमारी अलायंस इसलिए साथ आई है क्योंकि हम संविधान में यकीन रखते हैं। उन लोगों को आईना दिखाते हुए ये बात जरूर पूछना चाहती हूँ कि जिस धर्म में नारी को देवी की उपाधि दी गई है, वहां पर 2 महिलाओं को नंगा घुमाया गया, उन्होंने कुछ नहीं किया। उन लोगों से पूछना चाहती हूँ, दैहिक दैविक भौतिक तापा राम राज नहीं कहूँ, व्यापा में गरीबों को, किसानों को, मजदूरों को प्रताड़ित किया जाता है, इसके बारे में वो क्या कहेंगे? वो लोग ढोंगी हैं, उनसे मुझे कोई सर्टिफिकेट नहीं चाहिए।
मैं बीजेपी पार्टी को साथ साथ देश की प्रधानमंत्री को जरूर ये साला देना चाहते हैं, जरूर ये साला देना चाहते हैं। ये मुद्दे को सामने रखते हुए हमारे देश में उत्तर और दक्षिण के बीच कोई दरार न पैदा किया जाए। प्रधानमंत्री, आपको ये देखना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि जिस तरीके से इस मुद्दे को लेकर दिन रात प्रचार किए जा रहे हैं, लगता है मुझे कि बीजेपी पार्टी की किस हिस्सों में यह दरार पैदा करने की मंशा है।
मेरी पुख्ता राय है कि तमाम धर्म और तमाम आस्थाओं की इज्जत करनी चाहिए। किसी भी धर्म और आस्था पर सवालिया निशान लगाना भारत की मर्यादा के खिलाफ है।
All right, let's bring in our guests here, Kovai Satyan, spokesperson of the AIA DMK, and Narayan Lakshman. Little understanding on how this is played out. The comment made by Udayanidhi Stalin, how is it played out in the political circles, and of course, what's the common man's perception on this, on views of Udayanidhi Stalin? I'm going to, of course, start with our political analyst itself here, Mr. Narayan. What Udayanidhi Stalin said has, of course, irked the opposition in Tamil Nadu, which is the AIDMK and the BJP. But by and large, the India Bloc members, all the opposition alliance members have supported, very tacitly supported what Udayanidhi Stalin has said. BJP now calls it a well-thought-out strategy and plan by the India Bloc to galvanize support within their vote base, basically bring in on board entirely the Ahinda vote base.
Yeah, I think the AIDMK is in a peculiar position because on the one hand, they are very much part of the tradition of the Dravidian movement, which kicked off in 1967. And whether you look at MGR or Jayalalitha, their leaders, and now EPS, they have nowhere is there any sense that they are not a part of that intellectual tradition. So as a part of that, how are they able to, object to these comments? Certainly, there are objections that whether you're part of the Dravidian movement or not, if you're Hindu, for example, you could have objections to the words used by Udayanidhi Stalin in terms of comparing Sanatan Dharma to, malaria, dengue, coronavirus.
Yeah, there definitely could have been better usage of words, undoubtedly.
Correct. But my point, I guess, is that it is a bit of a tightrope act for them, for the ADMK in particular, because on the one hand, their supporters come from the Dravidian movement tradition, which is also about anti-caste and anti-caste discrimination, social reform, the welfare of women, and all of those things, which in other terms, without using malaria, dengue example, other leaders from the Dravidian movement have always, including the ADMK in the past, have criticized sort of the broader North Indian Hindu, sort of Hindi imposition, all of those issues as, trampling on the rights of the Dravidian movement and the Dravidian people. So the ADMK in particular is caught between these two stools. And,
all right, so you're saying they don't really have the moral right to condemn this because they themselves derive their inspiration and their political principles from the Dravidian movement, which has spoken extensively about caste system, caste discrimination, but likening Sanatan Dharma entirely to dengue, malaria, the choice of words like Mr. Narayan rightly said, has been widely condemned. In fact, Kovai Satyan, the BJP calls this a call for genocide. That's the DMK says this is a way to twist our words. We never called for genocide. But how has the people of Tamil Nadu, by and large, viewed this statement in Tamil Nadu itself on Sanatan Dharma being entirely equated to dengue, malaria, and that it must be fully quashed?
Seems to there a lot of bewilderment in the minds of political analysts as well as you when it comes to ADMK ideology. It's true that we have drawn our inspiration from Dravidian ideologies, but we have taken the good. Our ideology is all are one, God is one. When accused Raja, A Raja, called out, if I am a Hindu, then I am the son of a prostitute. We never took sides. Nobody came and asked a leader, what is the stand you're taking on this? We have never taken sides when it comes to religions. Yes, we have condemned whatever Udayanidhi had said, it is there. But at the same time, please don't expect us to side when it comes to the religious beliefs and sentiments. People have to abide by the law. People have to follow the law. What constitutes Udayanidhi is it's a hate speech and law has to take its action. And failure of which shows that it has been driven towards political narratives and mileage of a particular party. That includes BJP. Udayanidhi statement is a well-scripted narrative. His grandfather used to abuse, mock the beliefs of the majority. His father Stalin had done the same. Following the footsteps, Udayanidhi is doing so. It clearly shows that MK Stalin is desperate to elevate his son as a leader. Nobody considers Udayanidhi as a stalwart. Nobody considers him as an important figure in the political circle or the arena. He is a new kid. He is there only because he is the son of grandson of Karunanidhi and son of Stalin. He doesn't have any other merits other than this to be in the political circle and arena. And Stalin is desperate to elevate his son. The path chosen is hurt the sentiments of the
So
majority.
you're saying this is a
a
desperate bid to put Stalin in the national limelight. It was done strategically only so that he can grab attention. This is to sort of harness all that support from the Dalits, the minorities, and that's a strategic plan. Is that what you're saying?
Stalin elevates to the national platform. The vacancy of the Tamil Nadu here and Tamil Nadu circle has to be filled by his son. That's what we are saying. They are dynasty rulers in the name of democracy. That's what is happening.
But Mr. Kovai Satyan, you can't deny that there is caste system and caste discrimination. Even today, we had our headlines that dominated from Thoothukudi, where a bunch of young school children from a government school decided to boycott their breakfast. And this has not happened one day. We believe it's a norm. It's a constant affair that they don't eat from the hands of a Dalit cook. They rather stay hungry, but will not touch the food that has been cooked by a Dalit. And that happened in Tamil Nadu's Thoothukudi. There is caste system and caste hierarchy discrimination, and it's rampant even in the 21st century. What are you doing to criticize that?
No, it is there for ages, and every society faces the same in their own perspective. But we are not here to do only lip service saying that social justice will come and eradicate social justice, and we will not blame Sanatan is the reason for it or any other religion is the reason for it. We don't take stand based on religion. We don't paint a picture that can suit our political narrative like how DMK is doing it. And trying to say that Sanatan means caste. We don't do that. We don't take sides on that. It is highly condemnable. And yes, concrete actions have to be taken.
Stalin has put up a photo of a mosquito coil being defiant on his statement. How would you receive that?
No, that portraying the incompetence of his father as a chief minister and his counterparts. A 4-year-old kid dies of dengue yesterday in Chennai because of the civic apathy. And putting out a mosquito coil shows that our government is inefficient, incompetent. MK Stalin is incompetent. So please take the help of mosquito coil to get away from dengue and malaria. That is his intention behind it.
All right.
And he
Narayan
says that I didn't mention Sanatan Dharma with reference to Hindu. I meant all the religion. He is backtracking on it. That's what we are saying. It's a well-scripted narrative to elevate him as a leader in the political circles and arena. And people are falling prey for it, and certain media are falling prey for it.
Well, but the usage of words has been unfair. I mean, Sanatan Dharma is a way of life. It speaks about, it's a dharma. It's by and large the 80% population's religion that they truly believe and have faith in. So Narayan, the usage of words, the choice of words has been, it's shameful that one could say something like that and then say that I didn't mean it. And I did not say it against Hinduism, but Sanatan Dharma is Hinduism. If you're saying that eradicate Sanatan Dharma, then in other words, it could conclude as eradicate Hinduism. You could misinterpret it, absolutely. And he's given enough room to misinterpret it.
Well, I'm not so sure
but no apology has come either for hurting sentiments.
No, there's not going to be one because you have to understand that the Dravidian movement, whether DMK or ADMK, historically and regardless of what Kovai Satyan says now, has always seen caste as an evil, and caste has been associated with Hinduism. It, of course, could have been spelled out more specifically in those terms by Udayanidhi Stalin, which he didn't do. Sanatan Dharma opened up the terminology, opened up the debate to question whether you mean Hinduism or caste when you use that term. That is the problem that he's facing. But when you look at it through the rhetoric of the Dravidian movement since 1967, there have been multiple attacks on Sanatan Dharma, seeing it as equated to caste. So it is a question of interpretation. And
but then was different, today is different, isn't it, Mr. Narayan? What may have been a narrative at that point in time, decades ago, the narrative today is different, and people are very staunch. Hindus in India are staunch. We see that by and large. A comment like this will hurt sentiments. So isn't it just respectful to maybe say that he did not mean to hurt sentiments, apologize if he did? Of course, none can force him to do it. It's all up to him. It's his prerogative to apologize or not. But it's sad that he doesn't choose to do so despite having nearly 80% of people in Tamil Nadu Hindus.
Yeah, but I don't, as your initial question to us on the show was, what is the opinion on the ground? There is no groundswell of movement in Tamil Nadu against what he said. Well, whatever other reports you may be having, that is simply a matter of fact. There are there is a large proportion of Hindus in Tamil society, there's no doubt. But that actually raises the question of exactly what I said earlier, which is what part of what is implied by Sanatan Dharma? Is it Hinduism at a broad sweep? Or is it caste and the evils of caste in particular? Because when you look at dharma, the word dharma within Sanatana Dharma, as it is used traditionally in the days of yore, it does imply duty, and you also talk about varna, jati. There are subtle shades of difference, but they refer to the occupation of different sections of society. At least this is the interpretation taken on by the Dravidian movement leaders. I'm just trying to explain the meaning. So that is the lens from which they have mentioned Sanatan Dharma, saying the relegation of specific social groups to specific positions in terms of occupational mobility or lack thereof, that is what we object to. We want social justice which can lift up any person regardless of where they are born at the start of their life.
No, well, it is well-meaning. There's without a doubt this is well-meaning. But as I come to an end here, I'd like to get your word on the political perception or the perception of the India bloc itself being for it or against it. You have the Shiv Sena condemning it. Uddhav Thackeray's Shiv Sena, because they're staunch Hindutwas themselves, and they say this comment should be slammed. You have the Congress members again split on the matter. Rahul Gandhi has stayed mum on it. You have Karti Chidambaram, Priyank Kharge, who fully backed Stalin Jr. So how would you look at it as part of the India bloc, and whether they stand for it or against it? It's still unclear. And none of them chose to speak to us, so maybe you can speak for them, if you will.
Is that addressed to me?
Yes, Narayan.
Yeah, so I do think the one point I agree with Mr. Kove Satyan on is that it is definitely designed to bring attention in the political and media cycle to Udayanithi Stalin for whatever reasons. It could be to groom him or to project him as a future leader or so forth. But if you look at the India alliance and the broader the dynamics of coalition politics, it is an absolutely sort of disastrous step for them, because this will be seen.
All right, we seem to have a audio problem there.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Yeah, so I said this is going to be seized upon by the BJP and its allies in the election next year to project the entire India alliance as being hand in glove to destroy Hinduism as a religion. So this is, I think, however, only one of many such pitfalls we'll see the India alliance face. Because at the end of the day, there are many different regional leaders, each viewing national politics through their own regional lens. And that could pose many such hurdles. I think they're going to have to work a formula where they can each preserve their own political position, yet come together nationally to challenge the BJP. And that, of course, is no easy task.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Narayan and Kovai Satyan. Mr. Satyan, a final word from you. Will the BJP and the AIDMK collectively take this up in the run-up to 2024? Will this be your poll campaign in criticism of the India bloc?
No, this is not targeted as a vote bank politics as far as AIDMK is concerned. Our ideology and BJP ideologies are different. BJP has taken it up particularly in the northern part of India because that will directly hit the vote banks of the I.N.D.I.A. That's why they are being forced to respond for the charges made by BJP. In politics, there is an opportunity in the action of every political party wherein BJP sees this as a political opportunity, when I.N.D.I.A. has to respond to it. But as Tamil Nadu is concerned, this might not give the desired results when it comes to religion and vote bank politics.
All right. It's interesting how you call it I.N.D.I.A. Well, the India bloc right now stays mum about the comment made by Junior Stalin, Udayanithi Stalin, as he remains defiant. BJP questions whether this is the official stance of the India bloc. Are they against Sanatan Dharma / Hindutva? Thank you very much, our guests, for joining us on that.